Some people, their coffee, like coffee. I started seeing this girl in Texas. Thought she was cool, but she's a little crazy, so I'm trying to help her the best way I could. So I asked the court to be lenient on her, give her a second chance. I don't know if she took it or not, but I didn't want her to know that I did that for her, because just wanted someone to be with me for me. So I said, here, I'm going to follow this. He says, you can't follow that in that case. He says, well, I'm in ministry. Yeah, I can. So I filed some paperwork, try and help her out, get a drug rehab. So she got court ordered into drug rehab. I don't know what happened with it after that, but whatever. So he's just making his coffee, and I was like, it's so watered down, it's like tea. It's like, I like my coffee, man, the spoon needs to stand up in it, strong coffee, It's like a bold statement, It's like having your cup of joe in the morning going, what just happened? And I'm like, yeah, it's the Navy way, You say all hands on deck, Everybody says, make a way or make a hole, It's like either, work together or shut up and move aside, But, some people don't move aside, they just cause problems. So I says, hey, you have a cup of joe yet? Give me a cup of joe. It's like, yeah, that's a cup of stuff, you start drinking it and you're like, what did you just say? I says, yeah, words, man, they're like liquid, they just flow. Like, what's words like liquid? He says, yeah, I wanted to start this band when I was younger and call it Liquid Haze. And I was like, what? It's like, well, it's all those liquid drugs they're giving me to drink, psychedelic shit. And I'm like, here, drink this, drink that. You got the Thorazine shuffle going on and shit. Walking around like a zombie trying to help these kids that got left behind by their families. Here's your cup of joe. You guys are like, hey, this guy's a real bad dude, he's so violent. I'm like, really? Yeah, he's don't even know. I'm just like, hey, let me help this person out. Hey, let me stop this person from driving drunk. Hey, let me keep this person from going there overdosing on drugs. Hey, let me go over here and keep this person from fucking eating so many drugs that kill their liver and shit. Hey, their skin's turning yellow. What the fuck? Oh shit, her stepdad's giving her drugs, and we gotta figure this out. You know what I'm saying? Gotta solve everybody's problems. So, you guys want to take my boat? It's like, shit. Oh, they're gonna sell me a house. Cool. I'll go buy the house. Oh, no, the house is not for sale. Oh shit. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. That's it. We'll drive around the country. See if we can help some more people. Maybe I would fucking end up on the West Coast and say, hey, found me a boat. That boat was so important, But he just wanted to destroy my life. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to fix all your lives. Thanks for fucking conning me out on my boat. I'm still pissed about it. But hey, you guys ever took a ride in the snow, man? It's pretty cool. It's like going on a sleigh ride, but with wheels. So, I'm gonna find me a mall parking lot. I think my sister or somebody when I was a kid, or my brother or my parents or something, we used to do donuts in the parking lot every year when it snowed. I'll go do that next. That kind of be fun. So, hey, you guys ever done world politics? See, you got a WordPress site and you look at everybody's ideas. So it's like, cool WordPress site. Let's teach them about propaganda and politics and history and, all the religions and, what people are supposed to be like. I don't know if it's doing any good, but I see a lot of cool stuff up north. They say that stuff rolls downhill. When I was growing up, they say, hey, shit rolls downhill. And I'm like, maybe shit didn't roll downhill. And some of that good stuff from up north could just, kind of feather into, the South. And they could kind of, mix cultures there, I mean, that was the idea. So they had the citrus state. I don't know what happened to that, but it was pretty cool. My dad used to come get me. I said, cool, I'll go visit Florida. Went to visit Florida. He was living on this corner lot. And we stop at the visit center, and he's like, "Oh man, you got Florida oranges, man." So I was like, "Cool." So we go to the visitor center. We get some oranges, you know. It's okay. Let's go check out the Space Center and the Gatorland and stuff, and check this stuff out. All the people were nice. So I say, well, be kind, rewind. And you got J.J. Abrams making crazy Star Wars movies that are like a remake of the old one. I wasn't too impressed with it, but sometimes you got to go backwards to go forwards. And you got the sheriff's department doing backwards parades and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm one big psychological mess, so maybe just throw all the crazy stuff out there at once, and see where everybody lands. So, well, I got these cat people acting crazy, so cats are supposed to land on their feet. Maybe they stop acting like cats and start acting like people. That'd be even better, because then they wouldn't have 4 legs; they'd have 2. So, I don't know. Hey, I'm over here. They got some crazy names for these places. I'm not even gonna mention some of them, but it's pretty funny. Hey, they got a Casey's General Store over here, and it's pretty cool. Hey, some of these stores over here in the middle of nowhere are like cleaner than some of those stores in Brevard County. So I don't know. Maybe some people should take a road trip every now and then. Hey, you see that Tom Green? There's another Green name for you. The guy was kind of sick and crazy, but that's TV. It shouldn't be real life. I guess if kids were raised by their parents and the parents weren't doing drugs and putting their kids in front of TV with psychedelic drugs and recreational drugs all over the place, then maybe their kids would turn out okay. With all the shit I went through, I think I turned out okay, but I don't know, most people don't have to go through all that shit. So hey, is that a diplomatic intelligence, translating like everything on the planet? So it was pretty cool. I didn't tell you guys about that, but I was going through all these Facebook sites and translating all these languages into foreign languages and stuff. And I'll tell you, Google's pretty cool, because it's a White House Facebook site, and back then it was really low tech, wasn't as good as Facebook is today. So I was like, hey, someone help me translate this stuff. I'm trying to mix all these books together and get everybody to work together. So I'm trying to translate all these languages. Next thing you know, Google, boom, update, and then we had Google Translate built into the Google web browser. So and most people look at that like, and it's like, no, it's Google Translate, because they're trying to translate everything together to get everybody on the same page. And that page is, we got all this science and space stations and all kinds of cool stuff going on. You got people arguing over kids and shit. I just can't believe I'm trying to save a kid. The kid ain't mine. And the lawyer tells me I gotta pay him $5,000 to take somebody to court to get him to stop drugging kids and shit. It's crazy. It's like, hey, pay me $5,000 and we'll get you into the courthouse to get him to stop doing this screwed up shit. Or go in the courthouse and they'll sell her off. See what I mean? That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life. So I'm like, I get these messages like, hey, can you go teach Congress about the Constitution? I emailed this one lawyer. It was a Johnny Cochran firm down there in Florida. They sent me a letterhead back and said that legislators and stuff were changing laws to protect lawyers and doctors and shit. Like, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, these lawyers and doctors and stuff, I tell you, the fall of Rome was lawyers and doctors. So, mess things up so long, those old lawyers and doctors, they die off, and then you get left with a completely insane asylum for society. That was the fall of Rome. Everybody thinks it's a joke, but like, hey, the fall of Rome was lawyers and doctors. It's like, okay. When the lawyers and doctors get together and everything gets all screwed up, that's what causes the fall of societies. And I don't know which is worse, that or terrorism. they're both about on the same page with me. So I don't know. Maybe some people could, use their scientists and their greater thinking minds and their think tanks. People wanted to play tank games, so psychological tank games. So I'm like, hey, get your think tanks together, figure that one out.